Welcome back to Distilled Bourbon Podcast. I'm Brent. I'm here with my co-hosts Chuck and Brian, and today, fellas, we're drinking bourbon. Does that sound like a good plan?
Sounds great to me. I love it.
We've talked a lot about Buffalo Trace, the distillery, and we like a lot of their products, and we thought, how cool is it that Eagle Rare is basically Buffalo Trace plus 2 years. Is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
So Buffalo Trace is typically 8 years. Eagle Rare is 10.
Exact same mash bill. They just age it 2 additional years, and the taste profile is similar, but I think Eagle Rare is superior to it.
Well, so we were having this conversation. Can Eagle Rare, do we really like Eagle Rare that much more than Buffalo Trace just because of those 2 years?
Or is it up here?
Or this is where you live.
Yes.
So we're going to find out.
We all like Eagle Rare.
So we all do.
Brian and I do, for sure.
I love Eagle Rare. I love all these bourbons. There's not a single one of them. We have Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, E.H. Taylor, and Blantons, which you guys know is one of my favorites. You guys don't know which is which.
So they may or may not be
They're not in that order,
Okay.
I guarantee you.
We don't know.
So of the 16 possibilities, that is not one of them.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to blind
You're a mathematician
these two.
and a chemist.
Well, you got to do something. I'm not as handsome as you are. So these two guys don't know what they're drinking, other than it's one of these four. And while I do know, I don't have as much experience as you do, so this will be new to me. So we'll see what we like and what we, I'm sure we'll like all of them, but which one do we like the best?
Yeah. So this will be a single blind test.
Yeah.
Single blind means that whoever put the glasses out knows what's in there, but no one else does. A double blind would mean somebody in some back vault will have poured it and then provided it to the server, and the server has no idea. So that's more scientific, but this is good enough for government work.
All right, fellas, we're going to start on our left, and we're going to try this first one. What you got on the nose there, Brian?
Ethanol for me at first.
Caramel?
Yeah, some caramel. Smells to me like a higher proof.
It is kind of boozy, isn't it?
Pretty good. I would buy this one all day long.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of caramel and vanilla.
Some citrus
Yep, I get that.
on the back. You all know that tasting notes are not my specialty. I like what I like, but yeah, this is wonderful.
Just in here, good pour. The nose of it, to me, smelled hot, but when I taste it, it tastes like a 90 or 100 proof bourbon to me.
Yeah. Slightly peppery in the mouth, but
Just like a bourbon's supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
I do think your comment about citrus, now that you say it out loud, is probably hitting me harder than some of the others. But that could just be my brain working.
The brain's a funny thing. I've been in tastings, and I'm kind of like, well, I don't have any idea. And someone will say, well,
Blurt out a note.
Bananas. Oh yeah, I taste banana, but I like what I like, folks.
All right.
Clear my
So
throat.
everybody likes that one.
That's a good idea. Okay, so while Brent's off camera, I'm going to hold up color to different
Yeah.
bottles and see if I can figure out what's what.
If you can figure out,
I'd
your
sure like to be-
smallest pour is the E.H. Taylor, bro.
I'd sure like to be right, but it's okay. Okay.
Okay, so we all liked number one.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
That's no surprise.
All right, let's try number two. Cheers. Maybe not as much on the nose.
Not as boozy.
What are you getting there, Brian?
Very similar to the first one, in my opinion.
See, I get something a little different. I get something a little. I don't get the citrus at all.
Yeah. I
I get
get
not as much pepper.
I get less pepper for sure. Less tingle. It's really smooth.
I could drink that one as well.
Yeah.
So none of these are Buffalo Trace weeded bourbons. These are all going to be rye flavors.
Rye flavor, yep. They're Weller's, their most popular weeded bourbon, and Pappy, of course, are both weeded.
But we're not trying those right
We're not
now.
trying those.
Which makes this a little more honest. So these are all,
Yeah.
rye flavored bourbon.
A weeded bourbon, if we had that in the mix, I think it'd be easy to distinguish. If we throw Weller in here up against Eagle Rare and E.H. Taylor, so it's good that we don't have that in here.
And I think people should do that though every once in a while.
They should, yeah.
Try a weeded bourbon and then try a high rye.
Yeah.
See what you like.
I think the more you drink it, the more you'll be able to identify the notes of a rye versus a wheat, and then
But for our purposes, I'm glad we're doing it like this, so that we're not it's not like having an ace in the hole or something like
Right,
that.
yeah.
It's we're being challenged.
I mean, we're drinking bourbon. It's not wrong. So
If I were to guess, I'd say number 2 is Eagle Rare. I guess
All
you
right.
blurted that out, but that's
it's
my
on
guess.
record now.
Yeah,
You heard it.
and that can't be edited, Chuck.
Oh, but shoot, Eagle Rare is the second bottle, and I know that Brent wouldn't make it that easy for him.
Or would he? That's the question.
Yeah.
He is
All right, number 3.
deceptive. Or what's the line from Indiana Jones? He is nefarious.
Well, this nose is interesting. It's got a.
Oh, I like that nose.
Do you?
That smells good.
Smells kind of spicy.
It does. It's the most subtle one we've had so far.
Well, that's good. I like that one. It's definitely different from number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Completely different profile.
What's amazing to me is how smooth all three of these are.
Yeah.
Just.
You think they know what they're doing there?
I think they do. Yeah, they've got plenty of years of experience.
Think Freddie's going to keep his job?
For foreseeable
I
future.
think Mr. Wheatley will too.
Yeah.
That has the least nose to me
Yeah.
of the 3 we've had so far.
But it's got a delicious taste.
Yes.
It kind of hits me right in terms of where the taste is.
There's almost like a brown sugar in there.
Okay.
Boy, this is going to be tough.
It is.
I think the question is going to be, which one do we like the best?
Yeah, that's going to be the question. We're going to like all these.
I got my poker face because I want to beat Chuck, obviously. So
You think you know what one of them is?
I think I do, but I'll wait till.
Put it out there. I mean, it can't be worse than what was that thing you
We're not going to talk about it. Edit that.
Okay.
So I think this is definitely Blanton's, in my opinion.
You think that one's Blantons, number 3?
I don't disagree with you.
Okay.
I think it could be Blantons.
All right.
I
Well,
haven't had Blantons lately, but I think that could be Blantons.
should we try number 4?
Absolutely.
I don't get anything on the nose. Maybe I've been drinking too much. Well, no, I haven't been, but maybe I'm sensitized.
Or desensitized.
Thank you. Journalism major.
Brian was right. The first one had the most ethanol with the booziest nose, but our noses might be a little desensitized by now.
Yeah.
It's delicious. It's different than any of the other 3.
It is.
Does it kick a little bit harder, which is not a bad thing?
No, it's pretty smooth.
It's got more of a rye taste to me. It's either that or it's higher proof, which means I'm wrong about the last one, Blanton's. But I don't think I am. I think this is the H. Cheddar small batch.
Okay.
All right, so we've tried all 4. What do we think about the first one? What do we say about that one? It's a little peppery.
It is.
It had some caramel.
Mm-hmm.
I think is what we said.
Well,
It was a little bit more alcohol on the nose.
Let's nose that again and see
Yeah.
whether it's still.
I don't get it on the
No.
nose this time.
No. It's been sitting for a few minutes.
Well, you guys are drinking my all-time favorite Blantons.
Number 1.
Number 1 was Blantons.
Really?
Okay.
Started off with a big dog. It was really odd to me that
Big doggy.
yeah. I thought, it was a little spicier than what I remembered,
Yeah.
but it was good, and I really liked that citrus piece that we talked about. It was delicious.
Yeah, Blanton's is definitely better than I recall. Let's start drinking more Blanton's.
Well, you got to get off that Cooper Craft
Yeah,
or
I
whatever
guess so.
it was. We love Cooper Craft.
That was Brent that said that, not Chuck.
Yeah. You can send your hate mail to Brent at distilledbourbonpodcast.com. Number 2, what do we say about number 2?
I think I said that I thought this might be Eagle Rare.
Eagle Rare? Well, it will be in 2 more years. That is your Buffalo Trace, my friend.
Okay, well.
Pretty good for Buffalo Trace, right?
Yeah, it is.
I thought this was the least pronounced of any of our drinks.
Okay.
It was a little more
Subtle.
Yeah. So, I don't know, if you're new to drinking bourbon, and especially new to something neat, it's not a bad option.
All I
What
can
you
say is
did.
at least I had the mash bill right.
You did have the mash bill correct, 100%.
And that is 90 proof, I believe. So it's a good introductory bourbon. If you're new to bourbon, yep, 90 proof. So
Yeah, not too expensive if you can find it.
Eagle Rare is what proof? I forget.
I think it's 90 as well, or 100. 90.
Okay.
All right,
So,
it's coming down to crunch time.
Blantons, Buffalo Trace.
Number 3. What do we say about 3? Smooth?
Eagle Rare.
You are correct, sir. That is Eagle Rare.
Nicely done.
I had a 1-2 shot.
You got a 50-50.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try the Buffalo Trace, and I'm going to follow up with the Eagle Rare.
The Eagle Rare is smoother than Buffalo Trace.
I think it's more complex, not much more.
The
not as
pepper
subtle.
doesn't hit as hard.
No, it doesn't. I think it's smoother.
Yeah.
So here's a question. Is Eagle Rare that much different because of 2 more years in the barrel? Or is Mr. Wheatley and his other master tasters, or his master tasters, do they find a barrel that they said, this would make a good Eagle Rare, and they select that one to age for 2 more years?
I honestly think that's what they did.
I think so too.
And is it in a different part of the rick house?
No doubt.
You know?
No doubt.
So,
Buffalo Trace is kind of secretive about those things. I mean, obviously,
They're real secretive.
they're very secretive. They have 4 different mash bills, you know, as many of you guys may or may not know. So that means out of all the products they produce, there's only 4 different mash bills that they have. So all their bourbons should be similar in taste, but they're not, because different ages, different placement in the rick houses. So that's one of the interesting things about bourbon is it could have the same mash bill, put in the same barrel, but different locations and temperatures can differentiate the bourbon.
And as
Crazy.
good folks at Heaven Hill will tell you, it could have a different yeast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the yeast.
Right. So
Good point.
Heaven Hill has, I think, 4 different yeast strains, and they mix and match, and there's some real alchemy going on
Oh,
there.
so I'm not sure if you can guess what the last one is. You did.
If you
I
can,
think you nailed it. It might be the smallest pour in your. That has nothing to do with this is Brent's only bottle of Taylor, but it's delicious.
To me, it's the sweetest.
It's got caramel right up front,
I get a
good
rye
drinking.
taste on the back end with
right on the
peppers.
back. Yep.
So I got to ask you, when you say a rye taste, are you talking about the spiciness?
The spiciness.
Or does it taste like rye bread to you?
The spiciness to me.
Okay.
is what I'm talking
Do you
about.
like rye bread?
I do.
You
Yeah.
know, I don't eat a lot of rye bread. One of the things I hear some people who know a lot more about tasting notes, and I still have a favorite quote about tasting notes, but we'll save it for another time, is it's not necessarily that something in that whiskey tastes like bubble gum or whatever. What does it remind you of?
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's a really nice way of
Sensory memory, is that what they?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know what that reminds me of? A great time at a wonderful dinner where I was drinking Taylors. That's what that reminds me of. And I liked it then. I like it now.
This is the Taylor small batch.
This is the small batch.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
How many Taylors are there right now? There's a single barrel,
Barrel proof,
small batch, 4 grain.
rye. So the 4 grain is Taylor's each year. They release a once a year release. So they had the 4 grain. They had Warehouse C. They've actually had another Warehouse C Tornado series. So each year they release a one-off.
Okay.
And once it's released and gone, it's gone forever. They won't ever release it again. But their mainstays are small batch, single barrel, rye, barrel proof, and I believe that's it.
And where can I find these? Because I had to search high and low just to get a small batch.
You can find that at the Beverage Barn.
You know what? I'm going to Beverage Barn. That's right. That's where I did get that one. I can't wait to get another one.
So here's a
I'm
funny
excited.
story. I got a buddy of mine from Kentucky, now lives in Austin, Texas. Great dude, and he knows that I go to a lot of distilleries, and he was asking, can I find Eagle Rare out there? Because he's a big fan, and I don't know how much he knows about Eagle Rare, but I tried to impart a little knowledge, and I said, well, Eagle Rare is basically a 10-year version of Buffalo Trace, although there might be some other factors in there, but basically, same mash bill, 2 years older, and I mentioned that you can go to Buffalo Trace, and on any given day, you may or may not find Eagle Rare, one bottle every 3 months or thereabouts. And I said, once upon a time it was easy to find, and now you hardly ever see it anywhere. And I thought I'm being helpful to this guy, and so his reply back to me, being a private message, was, he's down from his high tide. I'm thinking, okay, and then he reveals he's down to only 3 cases of Eagle Rare. He had 5 cases of Eagle Rare, and he claims when he comes back home to Kentucky, he loads up. I don't know where he loads up, but he's loading up someplace. He knows a lot more about procuring.
Has he ever
Eagle
been
Rare.
on Netflix? Well, there you have it. That's our tasting of our favorite bourbons from Frankfurt at Buffalo Trace. We love them. You know what we ought to do is put some Buffalo Trace in one of those little oak barrels. Wait for a couple of years and do a little taste. See if it tastes like any Eagle Rare product.
So not a cocktail, but
Not a cocktail. Just put some Buffalo Trace in a barrel for a little while. See what happens.
How long will that take? 3 months, 6 months?
Oh,
Or small barrels.
smaller barrel, yeah.
Less surface.
Give it 6 months.
Should age fast. 3 months, 6
Yeah.
months. Try.
Who
How's
knows?
that for a blind tasting?
I like
I've
it.
got an empty barrel at my house, small one that I haven't used yet, so maybe I can bring it over next time.
I
There
think
we go.
I think we got a plan for a future
All right.
episode. my
Thanks,
friends.
fellas. Well, there you go. There you have it. Tell us what you think. What is your favorite Buffalo Trace product? Send it to info@distilledbourbonpodcast.com. Send us a message on Facebook. And hey, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button on YouTube.
Please.
It helps us out a lot with the search engine optimization.
Yeah, like us.
All right.
Like us too.
Share with a friend and neighbor.
If you have any questions for me, the liquor store owner, about products, allocations, how allocations work, reach out to me at brian@distilledbourbonpodcast.com, and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions.
Dear Brian at distilleddbourbonpodcast.com, where can I get some 4-grain E.H. Taylor just for me? Signed, your
Brent
biggest
Bridges.
fan.
He's already sent that to me, so I'm used to Brent's smell. He
That's right.
He emails me every day.
Every time we do one of these podcasts, I say, Brandon, you got anything interesting in?
Yeah.
Hey, you have any E.H. Taylor? It's okay. He gets that everywhere he goes all the time.
4-grain. I got hijacked.
Sorry, buddy. It's the bourbon we're talking about.
Love it.
With that said, please drink responsibly.